initiative which you've come up with. And I'm glad to see such initiatives for the people around to empower them, is what I can say. And to answer to the question that you've just asked me for, I think by the grace of God and the universe, since the very beginning of my childhood, I was in fact enforced to communicate only in English at home. I think that gave me the privilege, I would honestly say. And I've always been thankful for the opportunity. Be it my parents, they've been very concerning. But then there have been situations because I, by myself, is not a native English speaker, right? So, on that note, there have been situations where I thought, okay, this is how I can think in English, think in Tamil. That's my mother tongue, right? But then communicate in English. That was never a challenge. So what I encourage people is, because I was always told that, because you're always going to be good when it comes to your DNA being prototyped, right? We've been mutated with the DNA. We are all the star product. That's what we all know. We are the celestial products. So it is a gene that have been carried from my mother, my father, and then Samprithi is the byproduct. Likewise, Archana, likewise, anybody who has joined this particular call. So it has always been prototyped with the mother tongue that they carry within themselves. What about this English language, which is not a native language but a foreign language? So you enforce, let's say you all of you have a child or any of you are working professionals, but still trying getting difficult to think and communicate in the English language, probably you should start from the very early stages, which was done to me. Okay. So I think very vaguely I would have had such challenges, is what I can tell you. Be it any kind of a competition that I've had in my school days, English was always the medium of communication or the language that we've had, right? So no such challenges is what I can bravely say, thanks to my family members. It was very strict family. Oh, I should genuinely answer that question this way. If you don't read a book or not talk in English, there have been days that I was skipped by my meals, and
Oh,
even asked to sit in front of a space which was not good or diety to eat in front of. I think that gave me the privilege to adapt to this language. And it is not about the comparison, is what I can say. It is about the need. It is about the way, the style in which probably I was told to grow up, and it helped me, honestly.
yeah. Thank you so much for your beautiful insights, Miss Samprithi. In fact, I would also be relating to it because when I also grew up, I grew up watching in that, I mean, in that environment. I used to
Mm,
watch English movies, I used to watch English series. We used to even
absolutely.
speak to each other in English. That is absolutely fine. But the point is that many of us who are here, we kind of struggle because as it goes, right, only from the past 1 year or 2 year, or maybe the timeline would not be apt to say. The correct term would be that many of us who have started working in organizations are the first times when we are exposed to English. So,
Mm.
to all the other
To them,
participants,
to
sorry, you
them,
were
I
saying something,
would.
I'll cut you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. As you were saying, newly exposed to these circumstances, situations which demands for this particular language skill set is what I would want to address the next point, because it has become the need of the hour, right? It is quite a challenging world. It is quite a very competitive world. People do have educational qualification, but what about the English language? So I think there might have been various stoppages for each of them, but then I think with the rest of the questions that you have for me, we'll be able to give them a solution to develop
Definitely.
their English language skill set, right?
We
So
would
let's
be.
see.
We would
Yeah,
be. Just like how you're saying, the environment definitely plays a crucial role. But
absolutely.
actually, I have had certain people who said that, I knew nothing. I grew up in a Tamil medium school, just like how you said right now that my native is Tamil Nadu. So they grew up in Tamil medium, they grew up in Telugu medium. But once they were exposed and they realized that no, I have to speak in English, come what may, that is where a mind change happened. It started from that. In the next moment, what happened was, of course, user, you can be adding something. Give me just 1 second, I will be finishing it. So what happened was, once that mind change started happening, they actually started bringing in lots of changes in their attitude, and before in a short span of time, they started speaking in English. Yes, Giselle, please go ahead. Please do add what you would like to say as well. Are you able to mute yours?
Yes.
Okay.
So, from whatever conversations I've heard, the two of you are having, there's one very important factor which is a trigger. As you grow as a child, if you have a couple of friends that speak English, that speak Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, and they come from that background, that becomes a trigger. So, when you speak, because you've heard them speaking so often, you start relating it to them when you're speaking that language. You relate it to your friend the way he speaks. So you then tend to not think in any other language, but the language in which your friend is speaking. So that is a big trigger from childhood. If that is inculcated, that's, I think, the best way of getting. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for your wonderful point here. So, yes, coming across to the uh, other questions which I have for you, Miss Sympathy. So, just like how you said that you were never actually exposed to that kind of an environment, that's fine. However, you would have been definitely been on the receiving end. People do would be, of course, coming up to you and saying that I can understand what you're saying, Samprithi, but I'm so sorry, I'm not able to reply to you in English. Can I please speak to you in Tamil itself? So the same thing goes across to many people. They often say that I can understand what he or she is saying, but I'm unable to speak. So, what do you think is going to be? I mean, why do you think is the reason that people do understand but they hesitate?
Even here, when I said to answer, when I said answer for your very first question, right? How you have, I think, but you had to speak in English, and but it didn't come right out. See, it's my colloquial language that I have to communicate, right? But then the colloquialism as such was fine-tuned, but then it depended on the situation, be the school setup or be the other environmental setup. Now, to answer to your second question, now the people didn't understand, but then how did you manage to speak? Is it not Archana? The
Sorry,
receivers
what
then.
I'm no, what I'm saying right now is that
Hmm.
when the participants, okay, were saying often that I'm able to understand what you're saying, but I'm not able
Okay,
to reply back to you. So my
okay.
question is, why do you think that kind of a hesitation happens?
Okay, it is not kind of an hesitation. It is kind of in fact, that's not a trigger, I would say. It's kind of a stop that happens within themselves with the kind of the exposure that they've had grown up with. And I have, in fact, read about this very recently that it is our continuous effort that comes within us to achieve something, right? Now, I feel when they are unable to reply, when they can understand, but yet unable to respond or reply, there is some kind of an effort that they are missing within themselves. Very recently, from the in my organization, a person approached me, Sam. There have been n number of days that I've always tried to understand even the difficult word that I was exposed to, but I never had the gut. I never had the privilege to answer to that particular interpretation that I've had. Okay, what stopped me? I was just thinking maybe it is my own self that was always stopping me from responding to such situations. So then I took that extra effort in ensuring and telling my own self conscious mind that I am going to do it because that is what is really needed in today's world, right? Because we are enforced to communicate and communicate very effectively in the English language. So this person has taken extra effort in knowing what verbals are and not knowing what non-verbals are, be the minute gesture he or she has to carry, right? So he has in fact invested. So what stopped them is the kind of the self-judgment that they have within themselves and the effort that they don't want to put in themselves to respond. They know it, but yet they don't want to respond back. What's and I think it has to come from within, and that's when I'm going to suggest few exercises for the ones who are not able to respond to reply in the English language. They might be good at it. Okay, but then there is something that they have to do more to respond immediately, promptly, and ensure that the conversation becomes a two-way process with the person who's trying to communicate with them. We'll give them a lot of exercises, is what I was thinking towards the end, and that will be the takeaway probably which they could work on. I rather say. I'll give you a very simple example. Visualize that all of us are going to have our morning routine where we take our bath. And this is a basic lame example that I give to anybody who I talk to. And we go to our washroom and then we open the tap or the shower in which we wanted to have a bath in. And there's a little less flow of water. Right? What do you think about? What do you think? What do you feel? Okay, what's happening there in that process? Everybody,
Um,
let's say
shall I
you've
go ahead?
opened the shower. Yeah, please.
Okay, so first thing, which is like I'm going to take a bath.
Yeah, and you've gone and you've opened the shower, but then there is no good flow of water.
Okay. First thing which comes
What
to
does
mind
it
is why
mean?
is there no water?
Why is there
Is
no
the water
water?
empty in tank?
The water empty in the tank, very beautiful. And what we do immediately?
So immediately what we do is that we turn off the shower and we go and make a call to the gatekeeper.
Exactly. And we
Security.
turn on the motor, and the water automatically gets filled in the upper tank, right? The storage, and then then you know, okay, the water is filled.
Yes.
Then you open the shower, the flow comes automatically.
Hmm.
Now, that is what is simple that you can relate to here. Now you have received the information, you have understood the information, be it with the vocabulary, be it with the emotion carried, be it with the tone expressed, be it with any parameter related to communication. But then you're not able to flawlessly speak, reply, is because the storage is deficit. So I always say people, you bifurcate your brain into different parts where you can work upon each of the parameters which are important for you to speak fluently. One can be vocabulary. So you put a small bucket in your brain, or probably a tanker. You just have to visualize it, okay? That I'm going to work on these particular parts because these are the things that are stopping me. And then you work on your vocabulary. I would always say that investing on reading an article is one of the most important and the simplest way to increase your vocabulary. Now you have a lot of words that are put in there. Simultaneously use a dictionary and know the meaning of each of the word and fill in your vocabulary bucket. And when you think, okay, I'm not able to talk without fillers, write down the lexical fillers, write down the non-lexical fillers that you continuously comes out of you whenever you try to speak in the English language, and you start working on that. And the third comes the fluency. Now, what is that that's stopping me? Now, in between, I'm able to come up with my mother tongue. We do have an entirely different session in corporate in MNCs for mother tongue influence. It is, I told you in the very beginning, it is a part of the DNA. You can never change it, be it Hindi, Malayalam, Urdu, or anything. Now, if people are able to know that the flow is because of the upper tank, we'll be able to do wonders. I think that's what really stops them. And I think people should start knowing that there's something like this. Simple process is the shower example. There's no water coming, this tank up above is empty. There's no
I
flow
know
that
what
comes
is
out
wrong.
of me. Yeah, that means my upper tank is empty. I'm not talking about the IQ here. You need to understand something, everybody. It's not about the intelligent quotient. That is entirely different. That comes with the subject knowledge that we have always had since from the very beginning of our education, and it stops right at the age of 17 years. By philosophers, by philanthropists, right at the age of 17 years, our IQ stops. But then what really works and improves is EI. Okay. Now, with EI, you emotionally evaluate yourself that I need to speak in this language. So I need to invest something on myself. That is EI, right? Your intelligence might be always good. So with your EI, you can know, okay, I'm deficit on this particular language. So I'm going to work on this and then work around my communication. Simple as that.
Perfect. You summed it all. So, we can see an aspect of NLP practitioner also coming in your responses, wherein it is
Thank
not just wherein it is not just the responses that why are you hesitating, you're also going ahead and giving some suggestions for improvement. That's very well planned indeed. Thank you so much for
you.
such beautiful insights, Samprithi. I would love to know from you as to how did you see your confidence changing every single time that you try to inculcate English as a part of your communication?
Absolutely. Good question. See, honestly, yes. I'm very serious about it. I began my career as a journalist. I was a news correspondent. I would be very happy to say something here. I was a news correspondent for one of the regional Tamil channels, believe me, and I enjoyed writing. And my chief of news was Doyle, sir. He is no more now. I joined in my second year of college because I had the privilege to attend my internship. Right? It's the Sun Group of Network, if you all are aware of. And I was doing my internship during my second year. I'll tell you, right? And he gave me the privilege, Sam, why not you do your part-time? I used to go to college and attend to my uh, office. I had the press card, had the privilege. So I was always into feature writing. So whenever I wrote a script in Tamil, he'll say, Sam, you've translated it from English to Tamil. You've thought in English, but you've put it in Tamil, but it's good. Let's go ahead. So it always used to come live. It was a very poetic feature that I used to write. We didn't have the privilege of meta communications since there, way back. I'm talking about 2012, 13. It was there, but then not like now where we had television channels come live in YouTube. Otherwise, I would have had the privilege to look at it right now. So he always said English was translated here. That answers the question. So you always keep thinking in English and you can translate into your mother tongue, right? Now, the confidence I carried, it always started from a very early stages of where I used to give my speeches, various speech competition, various thesis competitions that I've had. I've even traveled extensively. My father used to take me to various places and ensure that I attend to these competitions that I have. And I was very confident. The confidence grew up in my college where I came out of the shell and I ensured that I'm going to be part of a very powerful, politically embraced television channel. And whenever I used to work, despite I represented a Tamil channel, my command over the language of English was always very prevalent, is what I can say. Because I would have my fellow people, let's say from Times Now or NDTV or India Today or the Hindu as such, only then it was only the Hindu in the English. After that is when we had the Hindu in the Tamil. So I've always had the command over the language, which gave me the privilege to walk through an aisle very confidently. Be it any kind of a press meet that I've had, right? It would be in one of the most sophisticated environment. God's grace is what I would say. And the way you talk, it's not about the language, it's about the body language you carry, right? Communication comes not just with English words. It's about the body language you carry. It's about the gesture you have. It's about the facial expression. It's about the overall confidence. I can give you many such examples, but then I do not know. I have a time constraint. I just could walk into the aisle. I was very one of the very young journalists here in Chennai, is what I can say. But with the language confidence, I was able to break through. So the final year, I continued my journalism, and that's when I was called to Loyola College. I think that was the very first year of my uh, full-fledged reporting days as a news correspondent to the press club of Loyola. I would have had more than 300 plus participants. I was in fact very young, though, but then with the sari I wore to ensure that I looked little elderly. And then I went and I spoke. People were like, "Ma'am, thank you." That is what it gives to you. It began since then, right? It began since then. And today, very recently, I would say the one powerful person I've met. So it began there, where I started giving my guest lectures to Loyola Group, and I've been continuously doing. And very recently, I've met the global operational person for my organization. She's a very powerful, very enthusiastic lady, and wanted to have a connect because I look after the learning and development team. Okay, I felt very confident there because that confidence has brought me here today. That's what I tell even to my fellow people in my org. Guys, this is very important. You need to communicate in English, but that's when the world looks upon to you in a very entirely different way. You might be good, you might be good, but then you need to set your bar high. You need to embark through this journey, and it needs a lot of thriving. There would have been days, and be very open, where Sampriti wouldn't have been very happy, wouldn't have been very successful with the career journey that I've gone through with, right? We'll get to know more about it later. But then every other stage gave the confidence because of the language that was beside me. I knew, okay, I can do this. I knew I can get this done because of the language that God or the people around me always nurtured within me, and with the calm skills is what I can tell you. So it did give me a lot of confidence, and you would have seen right royally people are with a lot of good English language communication skills, how they have thrived to come out and bloom in the world. It's not about I am very open. It's not about just having becoming a content creator, because we are in a enforced world where it is just with meta. And I'll tell you what, whatever you give, people are there to consume. You give them anything, always you will have a crowd to consume it. But you need to give something very different. They need to be an entirely different crowd which has to consume it, and they will consume it, and you don't have to propagate around it. There is no propaganda needed there for such things. It's just about empowering, do it, and enjoy life. It's just one life on earth, right? That's all.
Thank you so much, Samriddhi. Yes, it's absolutely right because people's outlook towards also starts changing the moment we start communicating in English. As you said, the moment we start speaking with that English and that confidence, people's outlook also starts changing towards us.
Absolutely.
People's perspective changes towards us. So, to all the
Absolutely.
other participants who are there, I think you would be able to relate to this, saying that when you started speaking in English, and the very first thing which we see in all the speakers among us, all the leaders amongst us, all the reporting managers of us, the first thing which comes into our mind is that, oh my God, she speaks such good English. I wish I could speak like that. Oh my God, he speaks such good English. He's such a great communicator. He's not afraid while speaking in front of a crowd of 1,000, 2,000, 500, or 100. I wish I was like that. So that wish should not just remain like a wish. We should be actually working towards it. Is what we were, what our Sampriti here was also saying. So we started at a very young phase, but that doesn't mean that we have to practice for 10 years or 15 years. You have a span of 1 year, please go ahead, try that. Because the thing which will take us ahead in the corporate life is how we are communicating, what well you are communicating. It is not just your work people will learn in 5 to 6 years of time, but our attitude, our communication is something which will take us ahead from an executive to a senior executive to a manager to a senior manager to a head, right? Now that being said, we'll probably end with just one simple question for you, Simprati. That is, if you had one daily habit that people can train themselves on, yes, to improve their thinking in English naturally. That is the first thing which why we would really want people to learn. That is, they should think in English itself naturally rather than thinking in Tamil or Telugu, which majority of people here would be saying. So, if we want them to change one daily habit of theirs, which will make them start thinking in English naturally, if you could please cover on some insights.
Great. So everybody here, as Archana's rightly said, it is not that you need a longer time to invest. Okay, let's say you've not had the longer duration to have invested, quite 1 year, or currently, let's say from today, it would be suffice enough for you to start your journey with. You would be thinking, why did she give me such experiences? It's because it has created an impact in the other's life, and I've been very happy about it. And it is not to just boast around or be very proud enough around. I've always been very humble and thankful for creating such kind of an impact in the life of others with this particular communication skill that I've had. Now the very important thing, right, to continuously think in English is to surround your environment. Let's say you want to be healthy. Okay, let's say you want to get into fitness. What do? You ensure that you buy good fruits, you go and invest in buying a lot of vegetables, a lot of pulses, cereals, and you ensure that you invest in every other thing, be it the environment around you. You keep your junk aside. You ensure that you're going to do some kind of a exercise, physical exercise. I'm giving very lame examples here. And you ensure that you start with some kind of a walking habit, or start some gymming or jogging or anything for the matter of fact. That's for fitness. Now likewise is what we're going to do now. You're going to surround yourself firstly with the environment. It could be your own Instagram reels that you keep scrolling up above, could be in the English language. It could
Perfect.
be the television that you watch, could be in the English language. It could
Perfect.
be the book you read, could be in the English language. It could be the very minimal colloquial conversations that you have in your day-to-day life, could be in the English language. Let's say you're married, you're unmarried, you have children, or you have your parents. Try to talk to them. They might be wondering and looking at you, why is she doing this? Just do it because you need to do it. And the world needs such people. And only such people are being recognized for growth. I've seen people with great CGPAs, amazing engineering background, but not have the skill set. You got me? They are even from data science from IIT. I still remember Prakash or Praveen. I don't know. I don't remember his name exactly. Called me sometime and asked me, Sam, I wanted to have this English lang communication skill training done. And now I think he's in Germany, if I'm not wrong. I could give such n number of examples. So it starts right from the environment setting, point number one. Point number two is your continuous effort. Indians are very good at imitating. This is a beautiful survey which says we Indians are very good at imitating. So you need to take a role model for yourself. When I say role model, I always suggest news readers. Okay, so you could probably start imitating the news reader from the television channel BBC. BBC is a very beautiful channel. I think I've had the privilege to have been watching it from a very early childhood. Okay, I think all of these helped me. You get my point? So start watching BBC and pick a role model. I'm trying to give you information that my father gave me. I'm very open, very simple, right? To everybody here in the forum. That's what I've done and that's what I've been doing. And you take a role model and you try to imitate them. As I already told you, we Indians are very good at imitating. And the third exercise that I would want to say is I call it the morning pages. I do not know, you can name it anything. I don't know what the internet says because every search engine says some or the other thing. So the morning pages is you wake up in the morning. Sam, you expect me to wake up in the morning and open a notebook and write something? Yes. You open your notebook that you dedicatedly have for yourself. Pen down all your thoughts in English. Okay, write it down and ensure, be it anything that you need to go to the grocery shop and do some kind of a shopping, write it. Write it in English and you check if you have done it. Put everything in the morning pages here. And when you do that, you have in fact brought everything from your brain on the very fresh day out of your brain and put in the paper. So your brain becomes empty to consume fresh information. You got my point, everybody? So your brain is super empty there to consume fresh information. Now, after that is when you invest. You asked me for one, but all of these comprise together as one now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
please, please, feel free,
they're
feel
all
free.
very
I'm so
simple
happy listening to it.
because they're all very simple. Environment setting, and I told you, you need to imitate somebody, you need to have a role model, and then you need to do your morning pages, and your brain becomes super empty there. Again, you need to consume information. That could be one of the most, I think, cheapest investment, okay, which is newspaper, right? You don't have to go to a corner tea shop to get a newspaper because that's where, or any newspaper mart to buy a newspaper. This is something that people come and ask me, Sam, I want to talk in English. Start reading newspaper. You have your beautiful smartphone these days. Install an app, read through the article. Simultaneously, if this is for somebody who dedicatedly wants to work around thinking in English language, I'm very open here, very serious here. You read an article, simultaneously have a notebook open, write down the words that you do not know the meaning for. Immediately, you have an app installed for dictionary. Go there and know the synonym for each of these words and write it down. And start using these new words that your brain is adapting to in your daily communication. And there you'll be able to see the magic because you've already set the environment, you've already made your brain blank here. So the consumption is going to be more. I fasted the whole day. I'm going to be super hungry to eat. You got me? I've made my brain empty. I'll be super hungry to consume. So you consume it more, and then you just don't. Keep it within you. You tell them, hey, wow, it was a delicious dish. I've had this in this hotel, and you try to suggest it to somebody, and you start doing that. You will be able to nurture someone else saying all of these and tell them, oh, wow, I did this. I was able to see this change within myself. Why not you try doing this if you want to really improve for your English communication, right? This really helps for the ones who really want to improve the thinking uh, in the English language. So I think all of these would suffice for now. So after you read through the newspaper, you work around the thesaurus. I think by now your bucket that we first created, no, you bifurcated our brain into different buckets: vocabulary bucket, fluency bucket, everything. It would have been full. Now the last thing is mirroring. You go stand in front of the mirror, right? One of the most simple exercises. I think there have been days when I wanted to go talk to a very huge crowd. I just go stand, look around, what kind of a gesture or a facial expression I'm trying to carry. Each of you can do this. Take a simple topic, could be love, life, water, food, or anything. Go talk about the topic in front of the mirror and look at how you are, how you talk. You need to evaluate yourself rather than someone else telling you these are the changes that you need to give to yourself, right? So go stand in front of the mirror and check on yourself. Okay, am I blinking these many times? Am I smiling at the right moment? Am I carrying the right gesture? Am I carrying the right body language? Am I pronunciation good? If you think that your pronunciation is not good and very confident about it, you can right royally go check with people around you. You can use the internet if you don't want a human interference there, and you can check how the word has to be pronounced. By doing this continuously, not just for a week or so, continuously, you'll be able to for sure develop your English language communication, and you can start thinking in English. And once you start thinking in English, nobody can
That's
stop you
stopping.
for sure.
Thank you so much for beautiful insights. I love the part of imitating and mirroring. As simple as it sounds, but really it's very effective. And
Absolutely.
in fact, what you said, take news readers as a role model. Only now I'm realizing that how and why I had taken up. But unfortunately, I didn't take up news readers when I was young. I used to take the examples of VJs, okay, out
Ah,
there. So
yeah, that
that
also helps.
explains now to me as to why when I
Yeah,
speak
you're
in
a
front
host
of
now.
people,
You're
I
a
go
great
in a
host
very
now.
cheerful, bubbly manner. That's because I had been imitating the PJs and not the news readers. So now I'm changing my attitude, my changing my communication a little bit. But yes, I used to imitate them, and I used to stand in front of the mirror and speak to imaginary participants that they're coming and joining my show, and I'm speaking to them. I'm asking them, okay, what music would you love to listen to right now? That's like this, etc. I used to imitate as a kid, just like how we used to play teacher, teacher, and doctor, doctor. So we also used
Absolutely.
to play this music channel aspect. So that's wonderful. Mirroring and imitating is something which I really love, and I can relate to it. And I would love the other participants also to be following it. So we are kind of running short in time right now, but we would definitely be moving forward to the next aspect, the very most important aspect. So, to the participants who have been regularly joining, you would be aware of this aspect. That is, we also go for live coaching in the program at the moment. Okay. So I will take it forward, but Sampriti, please feel free to add in your points as well. So what I will be doing is that this is my favorite part of the session, and we are going to train our minds together. We will do a series of short activities. I have just two activities for you all to break the translation habit, which we all have right now. So I'll say a thought in local language. I will stick to Tamil. Is that okay? Please drop a message in the chat screen. Is Tamil okay? Because I'm going to say that thought in Tamil, and I would love it if you are all translating that, not translating, but please follow the flow. Okay, you would be able to translate it right now. That is what I want you all to do. Please let me know if Tamil is okay. I will tell you a sentence, and you'll have to translate that into English. Is Tamil okay? I'm waiting for some responses. Is Tamil okay? Please type in the chat box okay if Tamil is fine. Waiting for some responses, please. Tamil. Okay, thank you so much, Praveen. Thank you so much for being an active participant here. What about the others? Is Tamil okay? I'm waiting for some responses. All right, so I'll continue with it now. Yeah, Vidya also says okay, and yeah, I'm getting some responses now. Kasirajan also says Tamil. Fine. Thank you so much. So here is a sentence. Please spare me from my horrible Tamil, but I'm pretty sure you will be able to understand as to what I'm saying. Okay. இன்னைக்கு heat அதிகமா இருக்கு. There you go. A simple sentence. இன்னைக்கு heat அதிகமா இருக்கு. How would you be saying that in English? I'm talking regarding the weather. I'm talking regarding the climate. இன்னைக்கு heat அதிகமா இருக்கு. How will you be saying that in English? Waiting for some responses, please. Very simple sentence. How would you be saying this in English? Please utilize the chance. It is hot today. Thank you so much, Kasirajan. Thank you so much. Kasirajan was the first one. Okay, what about the others? Thank you so much. Yes, Kasirajan, we are going in this manner. Second question. எனக்கு மீட்டிங்க்கு லேட் ஆகுது. எனக்கு மீட்டிங்க்கு லேட் ஆகுது. It's a difficult one now. So how will you be making a sentence for that in English? I'm getting late for meeting. I was expecting this response. I'm getting late for the meeting. Samprithi, if you are there on the chat screen as well, if you're there, sorry, not on the chat screen, if you're there in the call. So we have so few responses. I'm getting late for the meeting. Well, it is fine. People would be understanding that it is okay, but here is where I exactly wanted you all to be understanding. If we are straight away going from Tamil to English is where our errors will coming into it. Where are errors come in? Okay, so let me think right now, just like how you are saying, I'm getting late for the meeting, etc. In that manner. If I think in my English, okay, or if I go from translating from Tamil to English, I say, "Enku vairu valikkudu." So we say in English, my stomach is paining. Our thinking is, எனக்கு வயிறு வலிக்குது. So I go ahead and translate that into English and I say, my stomach is paining. Is that the right English? Please go ahead and drop a message. I said a sentence in English. My stomach is paining. Is that the correct English? I'm pretty sure many of us will be thinking right now, I'd always been saying it. Is it wrong? My stomach is paining. Otherwise, okay, Praveen says it's correct. All right. Well, the correct sentence. Thank you so much for giving your response, Praveen. I really appreciate it. The correct one is going to be I have a stomach ache. Otherwise, we can say my stomach hurts. Yes, Baranika. Thank you so much. That is the correct response. But our mind said, sorry, என் வயிறு வலிக்குது. We translate that straight away into English. My stomach is paining. But the mistake comes in there. What about the next sentence? On the fan. So we say on the fan, on the fan, on the light. Is that okay? Because in Tamil we say light on pannu, fan on pannu. So is that correct? Waiting for some responses. Okay, again Praveen says yes, it is correct. Okay, kindly switch on the fan. That's fine, Paranika, but however when we are speaking, most of the times we do not use the word kindly until and unless we are speaking to our reporting managers, to our officials in there. Yes, of course, now it is correct. Switch on the fan is the correct one rather than saying on the fan, on the light, on the geyser. Switch on the fan. I'm going directly from Tamil to English and thus I'm seeing the mistakes which we are making. Okay, what about the next sentence? I'm sure all of us say it. Rain is coming. What about this sentence? Rain is coming. No, thank you so much, Praveen, for this sentence. Yes, it is not the right one, but what should be the right word? It's raining. Thank you so much, Kasirajan. Yes, but unfortunately, when we say in quick form, now I'm able to understand. Now I'm able to see people responding quick, and you're able to get the grasp of the sentence as well. It's raining is the correct word, but unfortunately, when we speak, we often end up saying yes, rain is coming. I cannot go out right now. Look, no, rain is coming. Okay, wrong one. Direct translation from Tamil to English. Okay, what about the last one, which I already gave you all a hint of? My head is paining. That is Tamil of என் தலை வலிக்குது. My head is paining. So how would the correct sentence be? I'm having headache. Okay, but it would not be I'm having, it would be I have headache. But that's fine if you're saying it, but good that you've understood. That is the grammatical aspect of it. That's fine. We'll go that into a different aspect, different English. But right now you identified the term. It is headache, not head is aching, head is paining, not that one. So good. These are the mistakes which will happen when we go for straight away from Tamil to English translation or our native language to our English translation, because our sentences would not come in right. So I would really suggest you also to please start following English then and there, and rather than just sticking to probably going for translation mode, which we all are in. Okay, Samprithi, if you're there in the call, can I please go ahead with one small question for you? This
Yes,
question is
Archana.
from one of our participants. Baranika, can you please unmute yourself and please put forward the question? And Sampriti, just to give you an insight, we have just 5 minutes more to wrap up the session. We have just one question which is coming in. Archana
Hello,
Sreeram.
hello. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
Baranika, please go ahead.
Samprithi, first of all, I want to thank you. Thank you for having here. My question is, I usually used to talk in English with my friends. When I talk in a forum or when I presenting something in with a couple of people, I'm getting filler words. So how to avoid the filler words or some gap I am giving in the while talking? So how to reduce the filler words and how to reduce the gap in between the talk? That it is my question.
Okay. Hi, Baranika. Thank you so much for your comment. Um, if I may see you, or probably I'll just answer, it's okay. You don't have to turn on the camera. I think I gave the answer amidst in one of my interaction that I had with Archana, which was the example of water flowing less when the tank up above is not full, right? So if you
Yeah.
see, if you have ever opened, if you all are Tamilians, you know this Vivek joke. I do not know the movie name. He goes sits in next to a tap, and then he tries to open. There is air. There'll be air that will be coming out of the tap. If you are you able to relate to that joke? I do not know. I think it's a Madhavan movie. Or let's say there is a tap that was being unused for a very long time. If you open it, there'll be that air log between. And when you open the tap, you'll be able to hear the sound of water coming, but there'll be no water that comes out. It will be air that will come out. And after that, water automatically starts coming out with a different frequency. Okay, it comes and it stops, it comes and it stops because there is no good water supply. Got my point? So,
Yeah.
if Bhanika or anybody has to have a good flow, let's say without fillers, there are few different types of fillers there. One is lexical filler, one is non-lexical filler. Lexical fillers could be words. If you had ever seen a cricket presentation ceremony, you would have been able to see cricketers talk. Can you once imitate any one of a cricketer? Anybody can do that for me. Just 30 seconds I'm going to give you. Okay? And can anybody imitate a cricketer talk in a presentation ceremony quickly?
That's going to be very
Can
difficult.
anybody imitate Dhoni, Virat Kohli, or anybody for the even Irfan Pathan or anybody? If you had noticed, I'll quickly tell you.
Can I do
Okay?
it, Sam?
Yeah, please go,
Myself,
go ahead.
Vidya.
Tell them.
Oh,
Yeah, go
I'm
wow.
ahead,
just
Vidya.
gonna try. I'm just gonna try. I don't watch cricket and all, but I have heard when Sachin speaks, like
Hmm.
the ball was flowing. I got a very bad day today. I also got some runs with that field itself. That is how they
Good,
will talk, I
Vidya.
believe.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
good round of applause to Vidya. Huh? She really helped us here, right? Good. She made it very clear. To cricketers, it's only cricket. It's about century. It's about winning the game. It's not about communication. Say they do not mind adding fillers, be it, well, which are lexical, and whatever, which are non-lexical. That doesn't matter to them. Ultimately, they have made the country happy, proud with the centuries and the scores that they have taken. But that's not the case well to us because it's a very competitive world and we need to get rid of these pillars. What happens here? The flow has to be flawless. Fill your buckets. So today, I think it was Baranika, right? Go
Yes.
take a blank paper, put a box, think that box to be your brain, put buckets. When I say buckets, put blocks. Bifurcate the blocks into different buckets and then write vocabulary. Whatever you have to work on. Fluency, I need to work on. Pronunciation, I need to work on. One big stopper is grammar. Work on your grammar. Start from the basics. It's okay. Let you go through the sixth standard book. It's okay. Know from the basics. If you want any help, always I'm there in LinkedIn. You can let me know. I think Archana will be able to help you better there. There are various sites out there. YouTube has. Work on your grammar. With all of these put together, your flow comes beautifully. In which I think that you're cooking your favorite food, be it biryani, curd rice, sambar sadam, or anything, right? Or pasta, whatever dish you want to.
Think in
You put
English for the rest.
all of your things together, and the dish comes out really well. You need to put all of these together for your communication to come out without fillers. Automatically, you will not use fillers. You will ensure that I'm going to stop using fillers, be it anything, lexical or non-lexical. I think that's the answer for your question, Parnika. You just need
Yes.
to invest on yourself. Okay, like how you go buy a new dress for yourself, go buy new information for yourself to start thinking in English and further speaking in English. Okay,
Thank you
I
so
go.
much, Sam. Yes, absolutely correct. The more and more our mindset changes, the more and more it's not just about taking in the knowledge. After taking in the knowledge, we go ahead and implement it. That is where the change happens. So now moving on to the our next segment, that is our gratitude wall. Before we wind up the session, just giving you a heads up, we have just few more minutes. Please request you all to turn on your video, not immediately, but I'm going to be asking you. So go ahead, rush, put on your makeup, whatever, comb your hair, because we are going to take a pic towards the end. So it's not just going to be video on of me and Samprithi, we'll have video on of the other participants as well. Okay, coming to the next question, please let us know in the chat screen, how did you find the session? Was it insightful? Was it informational? Even simple words like these are going to be beneficial for us to get get a feedback. Otherwise, feel free to unmute and give a feedback as well to Samprati and to me on how the session was. I'll give just a few seconds, please, because we have to really be rushing towards the end. Okay, Praveen says wonderful. Thank you so much, Praveen. What about the others? How did you find the session? Was it good? Was it insightful? Was it wonderful? Was it something useful? Waiting for some responses. You can either drop in like from the reactions options which you have, you can even drop in some smileys or something. That's absolutely fine. But some response would be good. Okay, so they were typing, that is why they were taking time. I'm so sorry for that. Okay, so wonderful session. Vijay Kumar says, thank you so much. Then I also have some, okay, Baranika, actually you're sending it to my personal chat. That is why it is coming in separately. Baranika says, thank you, Samprati. I'm sure I will follow your words. One day we'll speak without fillers. So she has sent it to me in the personal chat, so it was missed here, but I read it out. Okay, so to all the other participants, time for group photo and your LinkedIn links. Last time I could not collect your LinkedIn links, but please feel free to drop your LinkedIn link on the chat screen so that we all can stay connected, because this is a long going process. We are just in fifth session. We have 45 more sessions, and it would be wonderful to stay connected. I will be posting photos on LinkedIn, and it will be wonderful to tag you in the photos as well. Please send in your LinkedIn links. Sampriti, if you are also comfortable, please do share your LinkedIn link as well so that we can stay connected. And to all the other participants, please switch on the video so that we can take a quick click. Please switch on your videos. Let me see the smiling faces now coming in, please. Request you all. Okay, Praveen has switched on his video. Thank you so much. Okay, what about somebody else? Anybody else who has switched on the video? No one else. We have only three. That is me, Sampriti, and Praveen. What about the others? Any one person also? Baranika, I've just heard you speak till now. I've never seen you in person. I mean, seen your video at least. If you could please turn on. Vidya, if you could do that. Rohit Bhatt, thank you. I think it is the same. Okay, I'm unable to turn on here. That's fine, Vidya. That's okay. So we have just three people, but we had quite a good number of participants. It would be wonderful to have videos from the other participants as well. If you could turn on, it would be wonderful. I can bring you into the spotlight. Okay, so let me not rush through it. Let me not push through it. People are probably a little bit apprehensive of turning on the video, which is very much obvious. I can understand that. So are we all ready for our clicks? Please put your thumbs up finger symbol like this and we'll take a quick peek. Are you all ready? Praveen, if you could put in your hands like this, we'll take a pic. I cannot see. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you so much, Praveen. Thank you for taking that effort. Okay, so are we all ready? 1, 2, and 3. Quick check-in. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your participation. Thank you to all the other participants who have joined in for the call as well. Thank you to everyone. Thank you. Special thank you to you, Samprithi, for joining in for the call. And we are going to wrap up the session. Just remember, confidence in speaking English begins with how you think. If you stop
Baranika
translating
is
and
here.
start
She's
thinking,
Archana,
somebody was
sorry
saying,
to interrupt.
yes, yes.
Baranika has come on screen. You can click another
Okay,
picture.
okay, Bharanika, one with you as well. I'll add you in.
Praveen
Thank
has
you so
been
much, Sampriti, for letting me
showing
know.
thumbs up.
Great. So that's you, Bharanika. Great. Okay. Can we take one more? 1, 2, and 3. Take in. Thank you so much, Bharanika, for keeping your video on. So we are winding up with the session. I'll send you the pic later. Otherwise,
Praveen
please.
is trying to say something. Praveen, but we can't hear you.
Oh, he's on mute.
He's trying to say thank you. I can lip
Thank you.
read.
Yes, still we cannot hear you, but I think you said thank you. We went by
Good.
the lip reading aspect. Okay, so to all the other participants, thank you so much for joining in for the session. Thank you so much, Sampriti, for coming in for the session. It was
Anytime.
wonderful indeed. And to all the other participants, please remember, confidence in speaking English begins with how you think. If you stop translating and start thinking in English, your words will flow naturally and your confidence will grow. Please follow the guidance, the advices, the suggestions, the habits which she had told to change in our mannerisms to bring in English as a flow of speech always. Our next episode will be on 30th August. Hoping to catch you all there. Please remember, alternate Saturdays always. So it's going to be on 30th August, and hoping to catch you all there. Until then, think freely, speak boldly, and stay confident. Thank you so much to all the other participants who have joined for the session. My heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Meet you all next time. Take care.
Thank you, Archana. All the best. Thank you, everyone.